because I'm ready.
Spicy Bytes! A show everyone loves. They like it. Listen once, it's wild.
All right, good morning, good evening, and welcome to Spicy Bytes 9. I am Sean Greenhall here with the Wasabi crew at, Fenway Park, the Wasabi NESN Studio. With me, as always, is Andrew Smith. Our guest today is Director of America's Marketing at Wasabi, Chelsea Rodgers. And also Dan Manger, who is a late addition to the show. No one told us that he was going to be here, but
Guest edition. Yep. Special guest.
Here he is, and I guess he's going to be on the show. So anyway, Dan, what's your title, by the way?
Coordinator of Competitive Intelligence.
Okay, all right. So you're researching our competitors. So you're just pretty much on Amazon and Google all day shopping. Is that
Pretty much.
okay?
Pretty much. Yep.
Great. And Andrew, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
You ready to rock
Good to
this?
be back. Yeah.
Yep. Running the
Still-
intelligence.
Yep. Still not canceled.
Still not canceled? Yeah, that's good. They still haven't canceled us, which is great. And then, Chelsea, you took the drive down from New Hampshire to be here today, which we really appreciate,
Of course.
early on a Monday. So we're going to talk probably a lot about the channel today.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about rabbits and bunnies, and it's going to be a blast. So, Andrew, do you want to get things started off here and fire off some questions at Chelsea?
Yeah. Why don't we start with a little bit about just your role at Wasabi
Sure.
before we get into bunnies? The
Sure.
bunnies can wait. So
Sure.
I'd love to get a background on your role. Maybe, you're one of Wasabi's longest tenured employees too, so maybe we can talk about how your role's evolved, but tell us what you're doing day to day today.
Sure. So day to day, as the director of North America or America's marketing, I oversee kind of all the activities that are happening in the Americas. So I have a team, a global events team. I have a channel marketing organization. Our partner marketing, partner program marketing falls under me as well. So I have a really great team of people under me that do a lot of hard work.
You do.
And I get to kind of focus on the strategy and make sure we're moving in the right direction in North America. To support our sales team, I work really closely with our sales leadership in North America. And it's a really fun job. I get to kind of have my hands in a lot of different things. I've had the experience at Wasabi. I'm 7.5 years in now.
Yeah.
I joined the company 2 months before we launched out of stealth. I was employee number 12. We are past 400 now,
Yep.
maybe.
Yep.
So learned a lot along the way. Worn a lot of different hats. I started as sales and marketing operations, and kind of wore both hats on sales and marketing side, and sort of worked my way through marketing in different facets and growth and channel. And it's given me a really great, well-rounded experience. I like to say kind of got like a master's degree along the way in marketing and in startups. It's weird to say that, I'm not even sure we're a startup anymore. We're kind of like a hyper-growth company now. And it's been a wild ride. I've learned a lot, so.
All right, what's the deal with the channel at Wasabi? Because we've traveled together and gone to events, and sometimes even partners will come up and say, not understand maybe that Wasabi doesn't sell software, like backup software. We sell cloud storage, right? So can you help? Maybe if the audience isn't familiar with Wasabi, but what are we doing with the channel, and why are they so important to Wasabi's growth?
Sure. Channel partners are really an extension of your sales organization. So, building your channel network exponentially grows your sellers, right? You're evangelizing resellers and their team members and sales folks to be able to speak to their customers that they have trusted relationships with and recommend technologies that they feel are the right fit. Because we are affordable, we're predictable, we have great performance. It's a really great technology for a rep to introduce to their customer, especially as an alternative to a traditional on-premise solution, to a more expensive cloud solution that they've been using. And one of the fun things is, like, we always say that Wasabi is kind of like the fries, right? Cloud storage in and of itself isn't like a full meal, because we are really powered by our technology alliance partners, and, you know, whether those are backup partners, or surveillance partners, partners in the, you know, MAM space. We are the destination for any of the data that they're kind of processing. So,
Let me just jump in there for a second.
Yeah.
I happened to be at a Wendy's yesterday.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite fast food joints. I don't always eat there, but
Are we going to talk about the Krabby Patty?
we were on the,
Okay.
that was available, but we were on the road. My son was playing a hockey game and we had to eat somewhere. So I did get a side of Baconator fries.
Oh,
Now, in this analogy, if we're the fries,
yes.
the cheese would be like almost like a technology alliance partner, and the bacon on top would also be a technology alliance partner. Is that right?
If you're having that for your meal,
Yeah.
then I would say yes.
Okay.
If you're having like a full value meal,
Yeah, like a number one.
Yeah.
But then Baconator fries on the side.
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe we lose the analogy there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, typically when I use this analogy, I'm going just straight burger and fries.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
And so like our tap partner is the burger, and we're like little fries on the side.
Frosty.
Or I prefer frosted.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. No.
I'm very welcome to be.
So one of your defining characteristics, I feel like, is your love of bunnies and rabbits.
Yes.
We're going to touch on that a lot here.
Love that. Bring it on.
Because, but I'm sorry. By the way, Dan, anything to add here?
No, I agree with everything she said pretty much.
Great.
I'm on board.
That's great analysis. Good job. So just getting to the bunny questions. If your house rabbits could use tech, what gadget do you think they'd be most obsessed with, and why?
So you know how they have those like automated like treat dispensers / pet cams that like you can like throw a treat. So
No, actually, I didn't. What the
Oh,
what?
I don't know
yeah.
about these.
So they have like I think Furbo maybe has so it's like a pet camera, and like you can like hit a button on the
Like
app
launch a treat.
and it like launches a treat. So
Oh
I
my
don't
God,
know
yeah,
if like the treats that I feed my rabbits would necessarily fit into these, but they would be all over that because they're all in it for the treats.
Yeah.
So my toddler, one of the first things he does every morning when he gets up is he gives each of the bunnies a treat, and that's like their special thing.
So my dog Evie, who was lovely, she's 8 now, so she's becoming an old lady. But she struggles with object permanence.
yeah.
So when we leave, it could be for 4 days, or it could be for literally 3 minutes. And when we come back, it's like we were gone for eternity. You know, in Interstellar, when they leave the guy on the spaceship,
Yes.
they come back and it's been like 25 years. Like, that's her experience every time we come home, even if we just like went out to take the trash out or something. And she like flips out. So maybe this treat
Yeah.
tossing device could help there.
Yeah. In the rabbit world, we call it the bun shun. So they get like
In the rabbit world. I love that.
Okay,
What is the bun?
the bun shun. Like if you're gone for a while
Uh-huh.
and then like you come home, they're just like mad at you, and
Yeah.
so
Oh,
they
okay.
don't want to be
They're
pet.
shunning you.
Like
Okay.
you like have to give up a lot of treats and a lot of loving before they're like,
Oh,
okay,
wow.
like you're fine
No
again.
kidding.
The bun
Wow.
shun. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so that's actually Evie's move too. Is that at first she's really expressive. Dan, you know what I'm talking about.
Anxious.
She's really expressive, and then then she turns on him, right?
Yeah.
Then she
Yeah.
remembers she's mad. So
Yeah. She's like, how dare you?
I'm gonna go immediately after this recording and
Yeah.
get one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Avoid the bun shun.
I might need to look into that for a Christmas present for the bunnies and see if I
there's
can
there's
fit
gotta
the
be a
rabbit
bunny
treats
version,
in there.
or it maybe just fits multiple sizes.
Multiple
sizes
size
of
treats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew, do you have pets?
I have 2 dogs.
I do.
Bernese Mountain Dogs.
Did they also struggle with object permanence?
No. I have a male and a female. The male is like a year-old. Female's a little bit older. The female like is happy when we're gone. She's like, I got the house to myself. And the male is
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah. The male is needy.
No
So
kidding.
he like misses us. But the female's like, oh hey, you're back. All right. Like I'll be in my room. See ya. I'll be upstairs.
Independent woman.
Yeah. She's very.
It's upstairs
yeah,
when you get home.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
So she likes her space.
So it could be worse.
Yeah.
Dan, do you have pets?
I do not. I do not actually have pets. We're thinking about getting a puppy.
No, you don't have to elaborate. I just wanted to tag there. So Chelsea, ChatGPT wants to know, Outdoor Enthusiast Challenge. You're snowboarding on a winter hike, and suddenly you're offered the chance to attend a surprise tech conference or keep hiking. Which one do you choose? Be honest.
I think you meant snowshoeing because do you snowboard on a hike?
That's what I meant. I mean, it depends on the hike, I guess.
I
but
guess
you're
I
right.
guess
No.
you could hike like
Hike up and
like in
snowboard
the
down.
basin in New Hampshire, not the basin. Franconia Notch. You hike up,
Yeah.
your snowboard on
Yeah.
your back, and then
I
you
know
ski
what you're
down.
talking
I am a snowshoer.
Got it.
It depends where. So if it's a place I've never traveled before,
Mm.
and actually a place I want to go, like I don't want to go to some like random town in Alabama. No offense, Alabama. Sorry.
You're great.
If it's somewhere I want to go, yeah, I'll turn around and go. But otherwise, happy to stay in the woods. It's one of the reasons why I love living in New Hampshire is
Yeah.
the woods.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan, anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. Great.
I want to bring it back to the channel
Okay.
real quick. So, I did want to get your perspective on like the amount of channel partners we have, right? Because Wasabi, a lot of times we talk about how we have like 40,000 plus channel partners, right? But like, what does that number mean from your perspective? Like, as we're thinking about marketing, like, is it that number allows us to market into new geographies, new industry verticals? Like, how did you build an organization with 40,000 plus channel partners, and like, how has that affected the business, I guess?
Yeah. So,
I'd say well.
overall good.
Overall good.
40,000
overall
partners are
good.
useful.
But
Yeah.
like, what are they doing besides? Obviously, they're selling, reselling, integrating Wasabi, right? But
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I mean that ecosystem is has a lot of different kinds of channel partners, right?
Yeah.
They're not all created equal. There are managed service providers, there are security as a service providers, there are cloud service providers, there are traditional resellers, value-added resellers. Like, there's a lot of ways to kind of self-identify as a reseller.
yeah,
Those lines used to be a little bit more clear-cut. Now it's kind of blurring a little bit because there, a lot of traditional resellers are starting to offer services for their customers. But
It's blurring for you, like it's always been blurry for me.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I never could quite understand the distinctions between them.
yeah,
Coming from
Mhm.
this kind of tech milieu, as it were.
yeah. Well,
Great word.
and the interesting thing is that like they all kind of speak their own language.
Really?
And so one of the fun things about marketing is like knowing how to talk their talk and
Absolutely.
making them feel like you understand what their challenges are and what their relationships are like with their customers and how we can help them be the hero.
That's why when I'm
Yeah.
writing copy, and usually my channel copy is like, cloud storage good for you, and then I show it to you, and you're like, no, that's not how we talk to this particular reseller, Sean. And I'm like, okay, thank you, and then I ask you that. I've been asking that for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'm not getting any better at it, so appreciate you there.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think that when we started, we knew that we would build such a large ecosystem so quickly.
Yeah.
And it is like challenging because you want to be able to, some of these companies are literally a single guy who runs his own business and he wears every single hat, but he has a large group of customers that rely on him.
Is he looking for a partner?
Yeah, maybe.
Is that something we could add into the partner marketing piece? Like,
Speed dating?
yeah. Like you're a partner who's looking for a partner, and that's like a meetup.
I
love it.
like where this
Listen
is
to
going
the
now.
Wasabi pitch. We serve some sushi.
Yeah.
They speed date. This could be a thing.
Yeah.
This might be one of my next channel road shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think maybe your husband will be like, I don't want you involved with that. You're like, no, shut up. I guess I'm the one speed
Yeah,
dating.
I guess I'm a.
Yes, I'm married and I have
I have a kid.
child, but-
I have rabbits. Yeah. Yeah, but I think marketing to all of them has all of its nuances, and not just from different partner types, but also in different regions.
Yeah.
The way the channel operates and works in Europe versus North America versus Latin America versus Asia, they're all a little bit different, and understanding how those nuances work and how you can kind of keep consistency across your brand, but also have what Julie calls like globalization.
Yes.
Having a global, streamlined story, but being able to tell it in a local way that makes sense in that region. As we've grown, like that's one of the things that we have to think about a lot.
Yeah, that's fantastic detail because I feel like we tend to just refer to the channel as kind of like a single entity, but to your point, it's super complex, always evolving, right? And the way that we fit into the channel partner's story evolves too.
Yeah.
And obviously a massive part of our business. And so thank you for the detail.
Yeah,
That helps a lot.
I'm very passionate about, what the power the channel has to grow
Yeah.
your business. And
Yeah.
we
Well, when Wasabi started, it wasn't necessarily like from the outset. I don't think the business plan was to just go.
That's correct.
we didn't have a channel program when we first launched. And
Yeah.
honestly, like as a business, it's really hard to do that right from the start because like if you don't have any brand awareness and you're a channel partner, you're like, well, why am I going to sell you? I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
You don't have a proven customer base yet. Like, I'm not going to put my neck on the line with my customer if you're not going to be around in 2 years, And honestly, when we came out of the gate,
Especially as a single guy, like you gotta
Yeah.
keep on giving that income, right?
yes, and
Yeah.
especially when we launched with such low pricing in a market that was sort of dominated by our big 3 competitors that had really high prices. Every show we went to, every event I did, it was like, oh, well, you guys aren't going to be around very long.
Wow.
You can't
No kidding, huh?
you can't sustain this with your costs.
Really?
And we would always say, we'll see you in a couple of years.
Yeah, that's wild.
But to your point, the channel MSPs were some of our earliest adopters because they look for the most innovative technologies to solve real world problems for their customers. And even though we didn't have a formal channel program, we had a lot of MSPs sign up in the early years at Wasabi because they were compelled by the price and because they're tech savvy enough to understand, like, wow, they really got something here.
Yeah.
Like, it works and it's low cost. Like, I'm going to take advantage of this,
Yeah. Shout out to Marty Fallaro and Lori Mitchell
Yeah.
for kind of like, they saw the writing on the wall and they were like, oh, hey, we can just like land and expand here really,
Yeah.
really exponentially if we kind of pivot here.
And for reading, like, the right time for us to do that.
Yeah.
Because you only get so many shots to get in front of a channel partner and say, sell my tech.
Yeah.
You don't want to come in too early
Yeah.
and then just them laugh at you.
Right.
Or you don't want to come in too late
I
and
mean,
then
I'm used to that kind of thing,
Yeah.
but we didn't want that as a company.
yeah, or come in too late and they'll say, oh gosh, we already have 5 other cloud storage vendors on our line card. We don't really need another one. So I think we hit at a really good time too.
Yeah, right on. Dan?
I had something. I just lost it.
Okay. No, that's-
Circle back.
No. We'll come back to you, bud. All right. Just write it down. Write it down if you have a
I
thought.
got it.
Okay. So your team is awesome.
Yeah.
Can you talk about your team a little bit?
Yeah. I think one of the cool things about our marketing team that has been consistent from a culture perspective and like a work ethic perspective is like there is no one on our marketing team, especially on my team, that like I wouldn't like be okay with like going out and having a beer with. Like I think everyone is
Even when you're
hardworking.
pregnant?
Well, not a non-alcoholic beer, a mocktail.
No,
maybe?
some people are fine with that.
Yeah.
I think my mom was, to be honest. But,
Listen, in other countries, that's a very normal thing.
it's European,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
continental.
But I think we've done, particularly in the marketing team, I think we've done a really good job of building like a culture of camaraderie and, I think a mutual respect lends a lot to people wanting to work hard to make you proud and to make, a large contribution to the team because even though we've grown into a big team, there's really not a lot of hiding. If you're not
And trust me, I've tried.
Dan, you're really not.
Dan's taking a beating. Dan, this is all in good fun. We love you. Dan is like a total all-star, by the way,
Yes.
professionally. So we're we're having a little bit of fun at
Yes.
his expense. But
I give you the punching bag every night. I don't mind.
You're the rookie, Dan.
Yeah,
It's
he's
part of the
Dan's
it's
the
part of the
rookie.
job.
Yep.
See this lovely culture here? But yeah, I mean, I'm so proud of all the hard work that my team does, and you know, I really try to make it a point, and this is all something that I learned from my mentor, our CMO Mike Welts, who we've been working together for.
Shout out Mike Wells.
Shout out Mike Welts. We've been working together for 9 years now. We worked another startup together before Wasabi, and he's the one that brought me over here for this incredible opportunity. But one of the things that I learned from him is just, you know, surround yourself with people that are smarter than you and that fill the gaps in your knowledge and your skill sets. So, yes,
Really?
yes. So, you know, if you can do that as a leader and build like a really competent team, you're stronger as a team. And, I like to think that I've done that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So Mike Welts, our CMO, can you talk about him 9 years ago a little bit? Like what's those like pre-Peloton obsessed Mike Wells?
That was you know what though?
Was he into shakes then?
He wasn't into shakes then.
No. Yeah.
I mean, my first introduction with Mike, our last startup, there was a lot of in-office
Shenanigans?
gatherings,
Okay, got it.
I would say.
Yep.
So, like, there was a woman, shout out to Sandy, who, like, her desk was in the
Sandy.
corner, and, like, Sandy was, like, the bar of the office. And so, like, Mike and I would always end up there, at, like, on a Friday at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Batman style.
You know, Mike's a magnetic person.
Yeah.
Like anyone that knows him knows he's just like he's magnetic, and you just like want to hang out with him. And
Yeah.
like literally, Mike can't go somewhere without leaving with like 5 new friends.
Yeah.
And like so that's how we kind of connected, and I had so much respect for like all the hard work that he was doing. And you know, when he came to Wasabi and we talked about the opportunity of me joining, I was like, how could I give up? How could I pass on the
Opportunity of a
opportunity
lifetime, right?
to work with him? And then I met Dave Friend, and I was like,
Yeah.
gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that kind of culture really does come down. Like I joke around all the time on this thing, but like for real, that C-level culture, the no a-holes
Yeah.
kind of thing is like from the top down.
Yeah.
It's real. So
Yeah, and I think you know, the only thing that's tough about watching our company grow to this size is that not everyone gets the experience that I got of like sitting across the table from our CEO and our
Totally.
CTO multiple days a week and like understanding what incredible humans they are, and as well as like business professionals and expertise in their field. Point to that, and
Yeah.
one of the things I'm really proud of from the early days, and Dan, you're a beneficiary of this, is our internship program.
yes.
So Mike and I started that back in
Oh, you
2017.
guys started that program? Did not know.
Mike and I started that in 2017 because we had a small budget
It's a
and we had a lot to do.
It's a pipeline.
And some of our interns have become some of our most valued
Yeah.
employees. Not Dan. I'm just kidding.
All just the setup. Wow.
Yeah,
That was
right.
That was brutal.
No, but it really does. Like, it's given the opportunity for some people who to just truly show like that they have a really strong skill set and the ability to like to absorb.
Yeah.
And like our interns aren't making copies; like they're working. They are adding value to our team.
Well, because Dan started on the events side,
Sponsorship and events, yeah.
sponsorship and events, and then came over to the tech marketing side. So you had kind of like a whirlwind journey.
You know, a lot of marketers like don't make that jump because of the
Yeah.
technical piece. So that you got
Right.
in ground floor is like
Yeah.
a huge piece of it. And I know Andrew's not the greatest boss, but and we've been talking about it. and We'll continue to talk about it. I'm
Yeah.
always here to listen, but you still you gotta kind of consider like the overall upside, right?
Totally.
So, like take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Sean's mentor.
I gotta go through the hardship in order to
Need a little bit of
words.
Yep.
All right, Andrew, you want to take over with the ChatGPT questions?
Let's do one more channel related question, right? Maybe looking forward in 2025, what are your biggest priorities from the America's marketing standpoint, but then maybe a little bit about what the channel should expect from Wasabi
Yeah.
next year?
So from an America standpoint, I think we're going to see some stronger growth in Canada and in Latin America. So I'm really excited to, dive more into both of those markets and continue to learn how to apply that globalization.
Yeah.
Hopefully do some traveling in Latin America.
Can you say which countries?
I think Mexico and Brazil will be big ones for us, but we're not discriminatory. I will,
Spring
if
break
if you've got data, bring it on.
Spring break in Cabo.
Yeah.
Look, there's a huge tech presence down here. Oh, it's March. It's mid-March.
Yes.
That's weird.
Yes.
Also, a good time to plug that our latest data center location in Milan
Yes.
is open.
Yes.
So that's
No,
not.
that's in Italy, Andrew. Mexico.
Well, I know. I'm talking about the roadmap,
It's
right?
almost southern hemisphere, but not really.
Different.
Just a little
Concept.
short.
We're not well educated.
Geography's
Geography
not. It's not a marketing strong suit. Yeah, but
But the plan is to keep expanding.
the plan is to keep expanding, and
Is
Milan,
the point I'm trying to
Milan
make.
is a great example of that.
Right.
So, from a storage, data center storage footprint perspective,
Yep.
I think that roadmap's, still in the works, but, definitely, we still have our data center location in Texas, so that helps, support a lot of the business that we have in Latin America right now
It
and
does.
continue to. And then on the channel side, I think we are sort of embarking on kind of a newer relationship with system integrators. It's another different kind of reseller. System integrators, we're focused on working with them in the security space, more specifically surveillance. Surveillance is a huge opportunity for Wasabi, and Andrew and I were just talking this
Yeah.
morning that, I think that it has so much potential for growth for us for next year. But again, that's another type of reseller where we need to make sure we're speaking their language, that we're delivering, tools and resources and trainings that make sense to them, that help them, speak to their customers and solve problems in a meaningful way. So
Are the systems integrators kind of like hand-holding the tech stack for folks?
yeah, they kind of integrate all these solutions together.
Like in a
Somet-
bespoke way.
Yeah, sometimes it's
Yeah.
simply kind of setting them up for success, and sometimes it's managing. Again, it's sort of like those blurred lines that are
Yes.
happening. It used to be like, hey, I'm going to set up your security system, and then you figure it out. And now it's, you need tech support. You're setting stuff up to the cloud. Like I could manage
Yeah.
that for
They're
you.
assembling the number one.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So again, it's a new kind of partner audience for us to introduce ourselves to and build our brand. So an exciting challenge.
And I'm still gonna write copy to them like
Yeah.
cloud storage,
Yeah.
surveillance, cloud storage.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of exciting because it's sort of at a point where we were with backup like 5 years ago. I think their adoption into the cloud is like really just starting, and the technology that our alliance partners are using are really starting to build the connection to the cloud
Yeah.
versus just kind of storing
Is
it
it
all
that
on
similar
premise.
opportunity? That
Yeah,
similar market?
yeah. So
Wow.
I think that's why I think there's such great opportunity
great.
going into 2025. So,
We're gonna take it out with a little segment we'll call Rate These Rabbits. We're gonna run through. It's gonna go me, Andrew, and Dan. Try to keep up. We'll each say a rabbit, and then you need to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10.
okay.
That-
10 being great, 1
Yeah,
being
best.
bad.
1 being worst.
Okay.
All right. Bugs Bunny.
I'm gonna give him a 7.
I feel like that's generous for Bugs Bunny. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's kind of annoying.
Here's what
He's the
I.
greatest.
Here's how I feel. Am I supposed to give my sentiment about
Yeah,
this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Let's get
If
it.
So-
any rabbit you want to comment on?
I feel like
Let's keep it.
you know.
So I feel like I set up a good
Oh,
structure.
so
I
you're
want
saying no?
to it.
Don't.
No, she should elaborate, but let's not jump around to different bunnies.
No. I'm waiting for number 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I feel like just exposure to rabbits as like a fun creature. He's done a good job of
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
He gets dock points for always eating a carrot because carrots are treats for rabbits. They're not meals for rabbits.
Oh.
So carrots have a lot of sugar in them.
Oh.
Yeah, carrots
No
have a
kidding.
lot of sugar in them, so they're a treat. They're not an everyday meal.
Okay.
Okay.
See that?
That you just dispelled.
Yeah, that-
That's
That's a
why that
very
rabbit
important
died.
fact.
Yeah. If you're
It's
watching,
very
if you're watching the recording, skip to this
No,
point
just no.
because that was
Try
the most
not to
important.
kill pet again.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right, number 2, Peter Rabbit, 1 to 10. Peter Rabbit's 10 in my book. All day. 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
It's not. I'm not even supposed to be rating, but I can't help it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Peter Rabbit's
Respect
definitely
your passion.
definitely up there. I had a Peter Rabbit themed baby shower, so yes.
Beatrix Potter.
Yeah.
Wow. Just a great author.
I mean, Beatrix Potter, hands down, amazing.
Hands
So,
down, maybe the best
Yeah,
children's author.
yeah.
Yeah.
She has a really cool life story too.
Yes.
Mhm.
I think my mom made me watch a VHS cassette of the life of Beatrix Potter back in the day because I have all these weird facts about her. Did you know that Beatrix Potter discovered lichen?
You know what?
Like,
I feel like
Like-
somewhere deep in the back of my brain I knew
Yeah.
that,
Yeah,
but
yeah. She's
did not
she's like a
remember it.
total polymath.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right,
Dan.
Dan, hop in here.
Yeah, my pick's gonna be the Trix Rabbit.
Oh.
Dan.
Dan, that's not how this
Dan.
works.
Trix gets a 1.
Dan, there's a list.
Was
Did you
there a
get the
list?
You're on C.
I do give you.
Chelsea's rating the rabbit.
He doesn't have the document. He doesn't have the document.
So we
We set you up. We set you up.
All right.
But
I was waiting
Matt, you
to
get a
see if
point,
I
you
could
get
get
a
a point,
point.
and I was gonna be like,
That wasn't even on the
You know
list.
what?
You
Yeah.
get a point for that for
no,
coming up
no one
with
even
just
mention
racking
Trix
my
Rabbit.
brain for rabbits.
silly rabbit. Tricks are for
All right,
kids.
so okay, point for him.
He gets a 1 because he was always stealing cereal from kids. Which, to be fair, rabbits hang at your feet and they wait and they'll steal things
Really?
and then bolt.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. So, I mean, moderately accurate, but also come on, don't steal things from kids.
Yeah.
So, he gets a. He
They're
gets
for
a
kids.
1. They're
That's
for,
funny.
they're
Dan
for
doesn't have
kids.
the list.
Silly rabbit.
You're just so good.
He's just
We really
looking at
set you up
something
to fail.
totally different on his laptop.
I think that's probably emblematic of a larger communication problem in the department, but we'll address that afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, so Thumper. What do you think of Thumper?
Can I be honest?
Mhm.
He's from Bambi, right?
Yeah.
I've never seen Bambi.
Speaking of sad,
I was about to say.
I've never seen Bambi. I've seen
That's
plenty
weird.
of depictions of Thumper. I have a board book for my toddler that has Thumper and it has these flexible ears.
Chelsea,
that you
that's a
can
little
have.
suspect.
It is. I know.
Are
it
you a
just
Russian
wasn't-
spy?
It just wasn't on my
I don't want to watch Thumper.
my Disney movie shelves of
Yeah.
VHS.
Honestly,
it wasn't in there.
we didn't have.
It wasn't
we
in
didn't have
there.
Bambi on VHS.
I think maybe
One of
my
the very
family
few.
was very empathetic towards animals, and maybe just because it's a very sad
The
movie.
KGB didn't
Yeah.
tip you off to watch it before you
Homeward Bound was my
Yeah.
animal cry
That's a good one.
movie.
Mine
Not
was
that they
ours
died.
was Fox and that.
Old Yeller.
Oh, never seen it.
You didn't old.
What?
This should more be what movies have I not seen?
Yeah,
This
this
a
is
long
okay.
list.
Well, that'll be the next
Yeah,
time.
this is
We're
a
gonna
long
see
list.
What pieces of culture it's Chelsea woefully uninformed on.
But the next rabbit, I think I know who that is, but
Are we gonna? I was just gonna. Roger Rabbit.
I don't really know. Was that an old cartoon rabbit? Listen, I work with rabbit rescue, real life, not cartoons.
Roger Rabbit was
And my last name's Rogers, so I should know this.
fair enough. Yes, Roger Rabbit was a cartoon rabbit in a detective. Yeah, he had suspenders.
Oh.
His wife was Jessica Rabbit, who was
Oh.
really
Smoke show.
yeah
Rabbit, yeah.
And it's kind of again. I mean, I think I'm just showing my age that you guys don't know this stuff.
No, what's the movie that's the cartoon?
Space Jam?
No, it's cartoons and people.
Yeah, that's
Space
it.
Jam.
Who Framed
Roger Rabbit.
Oh, okay.
Classic. It's all
Space
stop
Jam.
saying.
That fits the bill.
Stop
because
saying
Jessica
Space Jam. Don't say Space Jam
Is it
again.
Jessica Rabbit in Space Jam though?
I've actually not
Probably.
seen really.
There's probably a rabbit
Lola
in Space.
Bunny.
Oh, okay.
Lola
Different.
Bunny was on the ChatGPT list, but I didn't know who that was.
Oh.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay.
There you go. He's catching up here. All right, Dan. Did you have any more bunnies?
Nope.
Great.
Emptied my brain.
Easter bunny.
Easter Bunny. You know, I'm gonna give him like a 9.
All right.
You know,
Maybe Easter bunnies are our winner.
delivering candy. What's not to like about the Easter Bunny, right? Unless you're creeped out about people sneaking into your house, but
That's what the ring cameras are for.
that's what the ring cameras are for.
Hi-yo! Yeah, Dan. The White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, that's a 10. I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
a really big Alice in Wonderland fan,
Great.
so
Oh.
Lewis
Lewis
Carroll,
Carroll.
also great children's author.
yes.
Did you ever read what's that? The Bandersnatch?
It's the second Alice in Wonderland. Down the Rabbit Hole? No.
I'll think of it after we're done. Take over, Andrew. What's your next rabbit?
Bunny Rabbit from 8 Mile.
I am a child of the 90s. I was a really big Eminem fan.
Yeah.
8 Mile is one of those movies that, in that time frame, I actually watched a lot, I feel
Yeah.
like, but it's been a really long time since I've watched 8 Mile.
It's a great movie.
It honestly is, and
Holds up.
now I'm gonna have to put it on my list to watch back again.
Maybe watch
but-
with your kids.
Yeah, maybe not, but yeah.
Bad Bunny? No,
I
that's
know
okay.
he
No,
played
Bad
here
Bunny.
at Fenway. I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
his
I'm not familiar
music.
with that bunny.
Huge star.
Like
He-
Latin American.
he's such a big star that when he goes on SNL, like half the show is in Spanish.
Okay.
Really?
And it's really good. It's really funny.
I mean, that's amazing. I love, bringing bilingual into the
Well, as a North American, you're
America.
there's
Yeah.
the Americans. You get your
Very
French Canadian, you get your English, you get your Spanish,
You get your-
Portuguese.
I do.
Regular Canadian.
Yeah. When you're in Milan, you would speak apparently Portuguese.
Yeah.
There's probably a Milan like Peru or something. So maybe
Maybe I was right.
we'll check that out afterwards.
There's got to be a Milan town somewhere
Of
in
course.
Latin
It was just an
America.
example of global expansion. I know where Milan is.
All right. On that note, Chelsea, we'd like to thank you for being here.
Yes.
Dan, great appearance. We'll definitely have you back.
Rocked it, Dan.
Maybe.
You rocked it.
And Andrew, just bringing it all, as always.
Yep. Thank you. Spicy Bites 9.
For Spicy Bites 10, is it going to be like our 5th anniversary, even though we've only had
I think it should be. Yeah.
like 10 episodes?
It should be.
We'll have an extravaganza. It'll be
Yeah.
a party.
Ooh.
All right, that's all from here at Wasabi NESN Studio at Fenway Park. We will see you next time on Spicy Bites 10.